Failing is the best way to learn, so why do we avoid it? Because it hurts our egos. Realistically speaking, you're going to fail at something, no matter what it is or how much effort you put into it. At some point, you're going to run into a problem that you don't know how to fix, and it may seem like your progress has completely stopped. Quick disclaimer, I'm not trying to knock you down, so allow me to explain. Now, obviously, people want to be successful at whatever thing their passion is, but we forget sometimes that failure is a part of that process. There's no success without a few bumps in the road. And that's okay because what you do doesn't need to be perfect for it to be something great. You just have to work on it long enough to the point where you feel satisfied with the finished product. And as a bonus, over time, people will recognize you and they'll start to like it as well. Failure can be scary. Nobody wants to fail. But that's where we learn the most and we begin to see why we made the mistakes in the first place. Think about the first time you played Elden Ring and you run into a boss fight that is extremely difficult to fight, like Melania. I'm not gonna lie, it took me at least 50 tries over the course of different days just to learn her moveset and finally win. But that's the thing. It only takes one successful moment for it to outshine all the past failures. You can look up any successful person online, watch their interviews, and listen to the way they explain how they got into the position they're in now. I guarantee they're all going to say the same thing about how they failed many times before they even seen an ounce of success. It's really inspiring, honestly. I know it may seem kind of cheesy to look up motivational videos, but I mean, it works. Kind of. Yes. Just because something you're working on doesn't work out in that moment, that doesn't mean it's the end of the world, even though it may feel like that. It just means you need to change your approach. That's where paying attention to your mistakes is extremely valuable. It's like you have all the information right in front of you. You just need to see it through a different lens, a different perspective. Doing research and watching videos online can really help you because once you see someone working on a similar project as you can learn how they go about things through their perspective. And it can give you insights and new ideas that you can then incorporate into your own workflow. At the end of the day, you have to figure out your why. Actually ask yourself, why are you doing this? What's the goal? What are you hoping to achieve? Once you figure that out, the pieces to the puzzle start to look a little bit more clear because you now have a reason. You have something to look forward to. It's like fuel. You might be running low right now, your meter's on E, but you still got to get to work. Still got things you need to do. All it takes is that one gas pump to give you that fuel, that momentum you need to keep going. Yeah, I don't know if that analogy made sense, but we're just going to continue. In this competition we call life, you are your biggest competitor. You have the power to either become your best friend or your worst enemy. This is where having a good mindset really helps you out. Something that has had a huge impact on my mindset recently was actually changing the type of music that I was listening to. Music can have such a strong influence on how you feel throughout the day. Like, I love hip hop and rap, right? But a lot of the reoccurring themes in that genre does involve negative things. Artists that I listen to, like Trippy Red, Drake, and Juice World, they talk about heartbreak, drugs, and feeling depressed. So I needed to refresh my mind to more positive and upbeat music from other artists that in the past I normally wouldn't listen to. Don't get me wrong, some of the people that I mentioned have great songs, but I realized that over consuming it can influence you in a way that makes you focus too much on the negative aspects of life. So I had to balance that out for myself, and I literally felt so much better. I became more productive, I had more energy, and I started to think in a more positive way. So just be very mindful of the things that you're consuming on a daily basis because influence can be a powerful tool. It can either help you or harm you, depending on how you use it. So I hope this helps with your perspective on failure, and you learn that your mistakes from your past don't define who you are today, nor does it limit the amount of success for your future. But maybe failure isn't your problem, and you find it difficult to start anything. Well, in that case, check out my previous video, and it covers why it's hard to do anything.